Hi guys, Ali Duzette here, and I have something really interesting to share today that I thought was absolutely perfect astrologically and just like really interesting to see how the stars kind of show up in real life. So I'm going to share my screen as I get my act together here. Okay, do any of you guys play Magic the Gathering? I don't. But my husband is all in. He loves it. He actually has like a small claim to fame as being he designs custom magic cards, and he made the Netropolis set. If anybody like knows Netropolis, or I can't remember his other ones. I don't play them. I don't know anything about them except that they exist, and apparently they're like pretty good. Now this is Reddit. I'm not really like a Reddit person. But this is a link that my husband sent me after he told me about it. I was like, we have to talk about this. This is astrology playing out in real life. Okay. This is the headline. Bank of America concludes Hasbro has been overprinting cards and destroying the long-term value of the game. Who? Wow, this was fascinating. So Magic cards, how it works, it's like a collectible card game. Every however long Hasbro prints out, or Wizards of the Coast, I don't know. Wizards of the Coast makes Magic and then it's owned by Hasbro. I think that's how it works. So every so often they print out a new set of cards, and there's like a deck, and they all go together and people can buy them, and then you can put together your own deck with all the different pieces that you want. I'll say I played Pokemon back in the 90s. Wow. And I collected so many cards. And so to me, it's kind of like, okay, this is like Pokemon for grown-ups or something. Um, okay, but let's take a look at this. So Bank of America just downgraded Hasbro's Magic the Gathering trading card game business from buy to underperform. So, okay, it's a double downgrade. So, I don't know what's under buy, like us don't buy and then like underperform. But basically, Bank of America said, don't invest in Hasbro because they have been overprinting cards and destroying the long term value of their business. Okay, so this is the big part of this article, and I'll put this Reddit link down below. But what's happening here is what my husband explained to me was that a couple years ago they got a new guy in charge of Magic, and this guy decided that he was going to double their profits in 1 year. Well, how do you double profits in 1 year? Well, you just have to print more product, right? Like profit is made when you sell a product. If you want to make more profit, you need to sell more products. So what they did was they created a ton of new sets all in a row. And my husband said, as all these sets started coming out, he started really losing respect for Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast because they were printing cards that he thought were not good. It was like very clear to him that the quality was suffering. They were working so hard to make a lot of cards just to sell them that the cards themselves were not that great. Like the play was not very good. And okay. And so then there's been a bunch of reprints that have been happening that are devaluing many high value cards. And collectors are concerned that Wizards will print more. Wizards of the Coast, this company. Businesses and collectors sometimes purposefully hold packs to sell later at higher prices as demand outpaced supply, he said, but that system is now collapsing due to production increases and the unexpected reprints. Okay, so they're reprinting old cards that used to be a lot of money. And so, but they want that money. They don't want you to make a lot of money because you held on to that one card, the Black Lotus, and other people want it, they want to make the money for it. So they're reprinting, and it's just really throwing a wrench into all of it. And so, okay, here we go. Haas has said Hasbro could improve its outlook if it has a better slate of releases next year. The stock dipped 6.2% in the pre-market. It's down 37.7% this year. Hasbro didn't immediately respond to CNBC for comment. Okay, sorry, I was pulling up the transit charts because now we got to go look at the stars. Okay, this is what's going on right this minute. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are. There's our sun, and here is the south node. And again, we are on this Scorpio to Taurus axis right now, where everyone in the whole world is dealing with the themes of Scorpio and Taurus in their own lives. Everyone has Scorpio and Taurus in their chart, even if it's not like, even if you're not a Scorpio sun, you know, even if you have nothing, no planets in Scorpio, you still have Scorpio energy and it fills up the house where it is residing in your chart. We all have Scorpio energy, we all have Taurus energy. And right now, for every human on the planet, it's our destiny to work with the unresolved energies in those two fields. And this axis of Scorpio and Taurus deals with resources. It deals with resources, items, value, and stuff. So I loved this story about Magic the Gathering because I thought, oh, what an exact, like, what a perfect example of this issue of I mean, this is the axis where we're going to have to face issues of greed. This is the axis where we're going to have to deal with issues of hidden things coming to light, right? That's the whole point. That's why I've called it the zombie apocalypse, because it's the skeletons in the closet coming to light. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, man, I really want to run a star chart for Wizards of the Coast and for Magic the Gathering, like the first printing of their cards, like the most recent set that they've printed. Oh, I bet that would be so interesting to see how those charts would aspect with this nodal axis here, because this nodal axis is meaning that all of the secrets of of everything that deals with worth and money are going to start coming to the surface, right? And so, geez, just like what a perfect example of this. And also, what an interesting microcosm of what we're seeing on a grand scale. When my husband read me that story, I just laughed because I thought, oh my gosh, Bank of America can see that Hasbro has a problem because it's overprinting cards and devaluing the worth of cards. You know, are they also saying that the federal government is overprinting money and devaluing the value of our money? Like, hello, it's the same exact thing. It's the same thing. And so it just, I don't know, what a perfect analogy for what's going on in the world right now. Uh, it's even happening with trading cards, like grown up Pokemon. Okay. I know that's like a mean way to say it, but Magic the Gathering, the esteemed collectible card game, even Magic. And I will say, I think it is probably the most respected card game, like as far as trading cards. I don't know. People really love it. And I guess it's fun. I just don't really know for myself. But um, I will say, my husband made me play once. I think I played white. I don't even know what that means, but now you know. I played white one time in Magic, and I didn't know what it meant. Okay. So here are some takeaways from this. First off, we are seeing the ramifications of this axis in a lot more ways than you would expect. And on a personal level, one of the big questions to ask is, where have you been putting out so much that you have devalued something else in your life? Are you overextending yourself? Where have you served and given so much that it has devalued your efforts? Does that make sense? I'm thinking especially in terms of in terms of motherhood and like friendship and like service in your church and community. Like, are there places where you have overextended yourself? And now perhaps we need to take a little break and rest to allow the perception of value to reset. Hasbro printed so many cards in such a short amount of time. They did double their profits. That's my understanding, is that they had a massive increase in profits as they flooded the market with more product. But first off, they've been exhausting their market because do people really want to buy 500 new sets of Magic cards every year? Um, is it possible that perhaps just making tons of money is not the best way to run your business? I mean, like, of course, businesses want to make money, but is it realistic and is it wise to try and double your income every year by like flooding the market without regard for how it's devaluing the product? um I don't know, these are big questions to be thinking about. This is the axis of self-worth. How is your self-worth? Do you feel your own self-worth? Do you feel devalued? Where have you been taken for granted? these are some questions to be thinking about. Okay, well, that's all I wanted to talk about. What an interesting example of astrology playing out in real life. So thanks for being here. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Come hang out with me on Facebook, Intuitive Healing with Ali Duzette. And I hope that you have a great day.